and the reason that I'm so willing to open up my heart, my home, my entire mind is because it's hard to market stuff. It's hard to sell the reputation of Isagenix. It's hard to educate people about what whey protein is. It's hard to talk about ashwagandha weed and root and all that stuff. And I don't even know if that's how you say it, by the way, but it's hard because I don't pay a ton of attention to the weeds and the details, but somebody else on the team does, right? So I've been able to grab a lot of information from all of the great, great, great minds in this company. Like we're supposed to. That's what we've been asked to do. And I just honestly believe that if we have had it demonstrated to us, we've had it shared with us, and we are successful, I'm going to pay it forward, because the more of us out there marketing Isagenix the right way and having these great open minds and philosophies, it's going to lead to more people opening their minds and their hearts and their philosophies. So the more of us having success with Isagenix creates more of us having success with Isagenix, which creates more of us having success with Isagenix. So it gets easier and easier and easier. Like having Isagenix on the 202 in Gilbert Road, all you have to do is say, I'm a part of this amazing health and wellness company called Isagenix. You've probably seen it. And they're like, yeah. Well, when I go to Idaho, let alone McCall, Idaho, a town of 2,500 people, they have no idea what the heck I'm talking about. Isagenix, what? Is that like a mood altering drug? What is this? You know, is it going to send us to the moon? It sounds so futuristic. It sounds like a male enhancement drug. What is it? So believe me, if I'd had other people ahead of me in Boise, in Idaho, talking about Isagenix, I wouldn't have had to work so hard, right? You guys are getting this, that if you are out there promoting it, that saves me from having to go out and promote it. But maybe the time that I have saved to not have to promote it, I could spend with one of your teammates teaching them how to do a live video on Facebook. What goes around comes around. We have to share in this, you guys. And that might be a really mind-blowing philosophy if you're from a place of scarcity, if you're from a team that doesn't share, if you're from a team that doesn't open up its pages and open up its trainings and open up its main meat of everything. But that's what I'm trying to change. And Trisha and Peta were absolute champions of that cause. And I think that many of you that are on this call tonight, ironically, are not financially connected to me at all, but I have to some degree, I guess, trained you or to maybe have that same philosophy. And my hope is that you'll pay it forward and you'll mentor what we call the orphans that don't have their leaders, real close by. So what I really want to talk to you guys tonight about is why that is so important and what you can expect from it. So did you guys realize that we are a part of a health and wellness company? And being a part of a health and wellness company right now, in this date, in November, right before the new year, is like having your toy store open in time for Christmas. So you guys get that. Like, we are in the it industry right now. Like, everybody is shopping around and they're checking out, what diet program am I going to enroll in or enlist in or become a part of or buy into? Is it going to be Jenny Craig? Is it going to be Nutrisystem? Is it going to be Weight Watchers? Is it going to be Beachbody? Is it going to be Herbalife? Is it going to be AdvoCare? What is it going to be? Is it going to be Isagenix? Well, my answer is, oh, heck yes. I mean, it better be, right? And people know I am the Isagenix girl. I'm the Isagenix store. My store is open. So I really want you guys to grasp that concept, that along with creating this culture, we've also got to get this storefront open. And what does that mean? And how do you do it if you're out on an island by yourself? And what does it mean if you don't have other people to collaborate with? I really want to get you guys ready. I want to get you guys ready for like a marathon of 16-hour sales. I used to work retail, so everything that I remember is like, this is the time of the year that you don't get a sick day, that you don't get to sleep in. We got to be busting it out because we happen to be owning, like Trisha said, a virtual franchise. We own it. It's in our home. It's in our mind. It's in our back office. It's everywhere. And it's so important that you're ready for this. And some people are petrified to do their own first tasting. So that's another great reason that you've got to be a part of something, a part of a culture that could help you support that. Link arms with somebody and go and do a tasting. Link arms with somebody and go and do a healthy holiday happy hour. Link arms with somebody and set up shakes at the tailgate party at Bronco Stadium. You don't want to stand there and do it by yourself because you're going to feel foolish, and there's already a ton of fear associated with standing there and doing anything that looks weird. But if you link arms with a bunch of other freaks, then it's awesome. And you can make fun of each other and you can dress up weird and it's more fun and you've got a little bit more guts when it comes to that kind of thing. So number one, if you're a part of a culture, you're a lot more prepared for what we are about to embark on. So imagine if Toys R Us decided to open their doors and get real serious on December 30th. They've missed the whole holiday season. All the kids already have their Transformers and their Stretch Armstrongs and their Legos, right? So they've missed it. Well, that exact same thing can happen to us if we are not ready. And I know this can be really harsh because this is a busy time of year for everybody. But think about the wandering around, kind of bumbling around, depressed, practically suicidal people out in the world that are just begging to stumble upon something like this. This freaking culture. I mean, this has saved lives. I know for a fact. So you got to be ready. You got to be ready to have your storefront open, and you're not going to be judgmental about who gets to come through the door, right? Right? Like if you were running a brick and mortar store, would you go, you can come in, but nope, not you two. You guys probably can't afford it, and you're not heavy enough, or you're not old enough, or you don't need the energy, or you're prejudging people. If I was running a brick and mortar store, I let everybody in and I tell everybody else to go and grab some other people and get them in my brick and mortar store. I do the exact same thing in this business. Nobody is blocked from my Facebook page. Nobody's blocked from our prospecting page. We don't even have an approval process on our Facebook page. If that freaks you out, I'm sorry, but I don't have the time or the energy to exclude people. I want them in. Let's let them in. Let's let them explore. Let's let them marinate. Let's let them see what this culture is. So what we create on our prospecting page is a really positive place for people to shop and resonate and marinate and research and get kind of creepy and check out people and check out their transformations. But I'm glad. That's our purpose. That's why we're there. That's what my whole intent was, to launch this page. And that's the leaders before us have done that. But I'm a little bit different because as a group, we decided we were not going to have hours and hours and hours of approval. I don't care who's in there. They might have some life-blowing, mind-blowing experience by seeing somebody's post. Heaven forbid they actually come to my store, come to your store. So I have a weird philosophy about that. And so far, it's served us extremely well. I haven't had an issue. We've had to kick a few freaks out, but who hasn't, right? And so I'm really, really a proponent about inclusion. Like, let them in, don't exclude. Let them prove themselves worthy of being in your page later, but don't worry about freaking out and do they deserve it? And are they already enrolled? And if they're in a different group and so on. I just have a different philosophy. So I apologize if you're from a different team, a different page that operates differently. I'm really here to tell you how we do it and kind of what goes on in this noggin. So within our community and our page, we also have created that same thing socially in person. And it's called Tribe Time. And it has rocked my world. And it wasn't all my idea. I was definitely interested in having an open mind to what our other leaders or our other teammates wanted. And that was a place that we could all get together and have, in kind of a hallmark version, a safe place to land, a safe place to connect, a safe place to see each other, a safe place to be accountable and not eat that 17th chicken wing on Monday night because you know you're going to have Tribe Time Tuesday morning. I mean, it's really, really important to understand what happens if you are out there and social versus all in your cave at home. Because in your cave at home, there's no counting the chicken wings. They just keep on going in. But if you know, like a Weight Watchers meeting, like that's a smart philosophy. That's a smart concept, right? They're open for business. They've got a scale. You come in, you weigh in, you got to pay money if you've gained weight, then you get to stay for a support meeting. So Tribe Time is a lot like that. And it's been extremely, extremely successful model. Successful enough that they do it, we do it on Tuesdays here. I've linked arms with Trisha. I've linked arms with Nicole and Bethany and Wendy. And it's just been this overwhelming love connection and like sisterhood. And it's just been a place where I think people feel it's a safe place to land. From it, we've hosted Super Saturdays. From it, we've created bonds and gone and done tastings at each other's houses. From it, we just did our first Friendsgiving. But it's also a place that people could bring people that aren't enrolled yet. Oh no, heaven forbid, what if they saw the Isagenix compensation plan or somebody's paycheck? Good, that's our intention, you guys, because that is changing people's lives. It's not small dough, you guys. This is a big deal. The paychecks, the freedoms, the time that people have with their loved ones, all of that stuff is exemplified and talked about right in person. I mean, people can see it. They come to our homes. They see where I sleep. They've been on my toilet. I mean, this is trust, right? So think about it. And I know that some of this is a little bit freaky because I just said the word toilet, but I want you to understand that, you know, this fires me up. I love talking about the culture, and I see the faces on this screen that I know have been touched to some degree by this crazy mind of mine. But yeah, toilet, Frank, but I love it. And I think that if we didn't have such an open mind about things, there probably would be a lot fewer builders on our team. And I think there's a number of people on this call that could probably say, I told Sybil no. I told her I'm not building a business. I told her I'm not leaving my job. I told her to get away, crazy person. I'm done. I'm good. I'm comfortable. I'm in my life. I'm living it. But many of you are here, Stacy Wiley, because you love the culture and you love the people and you love the fun and you love the recipes and you loved whatever it was that we did as a team. So I have many people that say to me, but Sybil, I don't really have anybody on my team that wants to build. And I ask them, is it maybe because you haven't created a culture that really supports that? Because if you really look at the teams that are really closed off and not really growing quickly, it's probably they haven't really gotten together as a group and really done anything, but maybe they went to Celebration and had a team dinner. do more stuff, do more fun stuff. I mean, you know, I wrote down something about, you know, create and promote a place of more good stuff, more stuff that's good that people want more of, and create it often, offer it consistently, and show the heck up. I don't cancel stuff. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it because people are counting on me. And it's a promise that I made. It's a promise that I made that I would post on our prospecting page every day of my life. And I've done it. And I'm a woman of my word. I stick to it. I don't want to cancel calls. I don't want to cancel tribe time. I don't want to not show up because I might have a better offer to go and do this, this, or this. I'm there. And people want consistency. They may not want to be an Isagenix millionaire, but they want to know that if they come to tribe time, if they come to one of the events that I'm going to be on or at, they know that they'll get a pretty consistent Sybil Imel. And not that I'm like the end all, but it's one thing that they can rely on in a world that they can't rely on most anything anymore. So I really, really am speaking to the whole group here. When you think about that and what consistency and being present really, really means, how many of you can really say that you haven't bailed on something, that you haven't flaked on something, that you have cleanse coached the way you should, that you have gone and picked up one of your new enrollees and taken them to a training, to a Super Saturday, to a tasting? Be the vehicle, be the catalyst that invites them into this crazy, crazy thing that we are a part of. This might be the biggest thing that they've ever been a part of. I know it is for me. I mean, I'm not speaking because I'm like, yeah, this is like the third coolest thing that I've ever been a part of. This is it, you guys. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen people drumming and twirling and hair shaking, and the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and Flo Rida and Vanilla Ice and Maroon 5. I mean, this stuff has happened to me. I've seen it happen in my face. It's happening every time I go to any Isagenix thing. I literally am lit up to the point where it's like, whoa, they put crack in this stuff. I mean, people have like accused us of having illegal stuff in our products. And I almost get it because it's crazy time. It's crazy. And that's not even talking about the cash, okay? Like, we change people's futures. We bring people home. We're letting people raise their own kids. We're letting people buy their second dream home. We're letting people have way too many cars. We're letting people do things and have dreams again. So that's why I'm fired up. And that's why I'm sweating through my little workout top here. And that's why I'm still up way past my bedtime. But it's because I think we need to have a shift. We need to have a shift in a lot of the ways that we are excluding people. We're excluding people from connections. We're excluding people from our teams. We're excluding people from building a dream because they said, nah. I mean, I don't think many of you could say, if you know me, if you know our team, that there aren't just certain things that are instilled in us. Yes, Heather, shift happens. Woo! Own your own shift. It's really important that you understand also that it's not just me that has created this. I mean, I've got a posture about me that, yes, you do join the Eat for Free program. You do become a consultant on day 15. It just happens. And I say that consistently. Sure. There's people that don't join the Eat for Free program on day 15 on our team. There's people that still have never shared with one person on my team. But ultimately, we expect it and we train it, and it's what we do. And I get in my little power girl pose because it's what we do. That's our culture. And it's easy to shift it. If you don't have that culture, if you're not from that place, if you're not living that way currently in your build, if you haven't even started building yet, it's not hard for you to just simply start saying, what we do is this. How we do it on our team is da 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 da. What we do in this group is this. And what we enroll with is the value pack. What we start doing on day 15 is enroll your husband and your mother. What we start doing is talking about our compensation in our prospecting page. What we do is show time freedom. This is what we've really found works well. We train you to do, a lot of social media posts. We train you to have your storefront open. We train you to have a public Facebook page. And it's just very, very easy to create that culture when that's what we all do, if we all have that same philosophy. So I might be rocking a few of your worlds because you're not from that same place, but I do want to let you know that when you, have your own page or have your own empire, you literally can do it the way you want to do it. Nobody's going to fire you. I mean, I really think that you can't get fired by trying to change people's lives. It's really what we expect. It's really how Jim and Kathy want us to do it. So I've kind of been shouting and sweating a lot for 30 minutes. So we'll kind of go over again, just really how you can take it from maybe being really, really tentative and scared and fearful to being really big about it. And if you're not really big about it right now, you need to get really big about it tomorrow, because this is really the time that, in most companies that have a retail product, you can do in November and December what it could potentially take 3 to 6 months to do in normal months, right? We are in that industry that people are going to tap into starting now. I mean, they're shopping, they're looking, they think that they can order the product on January 1 and be ready to rock out their resolution. Don't let them wait. Be in front of them. Start sending messages. Start being intentional. Start having holiday happy hours. Start hosting a lot of stuff. Start connecting with people. Start being really social outside of your house, going shopping. Check out how you get customer service at some of these stores that you're going to be going to. Ask them how much they love their current job. Tell them that you've got a health and wellness page that you have on Facebook. Connect with them doing that weird little messenger thing with the scan code. There's plenty of ways to be out there and be social. And you got to leave your house. I mean, I hope that you're not just hiding behind your Zoom and this is like the first interaction that you've had with humans today, because it's not mine. I've been out most of the day and I connect with people, and I'm extremely, extremely deliberate and intentional when I meet somebody that I really do authentically want to connect with. I'll hand them my phone and I'll say, "Are you on Facebook?" And they'll say, "Yeah." And I'll say, "Okay, well, find yourself here." And I hand them this and I have them type their own name in the screen. And I tell them they're going to get a friend request from me. And if I really want to dazzle them, you guys have all seen this, but in Messenger, there's that little scan code that you can actually hold over their phone. And it's like your own little scan code, like something that you get, when you go through the checkout stand. But these kind of things are so important to be ready, and people want to connect, and people are flattered when you go, "Oh my gosh, this is the best customer service I've ever received buying a pair of shoes." I mean, have you thought about being paid what you're worth? Because this is crazy. This is mind-blowing customer service. I want to help you find a career where you're actually paid what you're worth. Would you be open to something like that? And they'll stand there and go, "Dang, thank you." I mean, I used to be the woman that would be pushing the stroller and people would stop me and talk to me about my eyelashes. And I truly thought that that was the best day of my life. They were Mary Kay salespeople. They were smart. I was a sucker. I wanted to be told I looked pretty that day because I had 2 babies within 15 months. I was really not probably the image of Mary Kay, but they were smart women to stand at the base of an escalator and talk to me as I got off. I found myself going back to that same escalator, like, dang, maybe they'll tell me that again. I mean, people deserve to be treated well and flattered and really be honest about it. I mean, if it's not true, then don't say it, because it's going to show that you're a big liar. But if it's really something that you feel, like when you get good customer service, flatter them, tell them about it. Go up and tell them, and then put them in your health and wellness page. And you know, this isn't any longer, like I said, about transforming lives and transforming bank accounts and immediately putting them in Isagenix. This is really occurring to me that people are more starving for connections. And so in order to get them eventually, very authentically and organically into your Isagenix team, you want them to be interested in being a part of your Isagenix team. But that means you got to know them first. You got to connect with them first. I mean, it's very rare that somebody will say, oh my gosh, Sybil, you know, I just totally connected with you. Sign me up for this thing that you do. No, they want to become a part of this crazy culture that they see on my Facebook page, that they see kind of on my Instagram. I'm not super awesome at that just yet, but I'm getting there. It's just about being present, leave your house, be consistent, offer some value in your life, offer some value to their life, fill these people's cup. This is a very depressing time for some people. They've got terrible memories of bad holidays. They've got terrible memories of their, you know, really negative relatives coming in and putting down their really dry turkey. They've got really bad fears and grief because they're missing their loved ones who've passed. This is a time where the word broke and broken come across in a lot of people's faces. The financial part of the holiday is not cool for a lot of people. They enter the new year totally broke and broken. And if you can then create that culture that I was talking about, create a safe place for them to land, create a place for them to bring others, create a place that they can connect with you and you guys can talk about something other than the stuff that they've had to deal with, be available for that, be present for that, provide a place for that, and then be consistent with that culture and don't flake, don't bail, do the stuff that you've promised that you're going to do. These people deserve this. And ultimately, that's what we get paid extremely well. Can I mention extremely well we get paid to continually do this? So I never, ever turn anybody away who says, Sybil, I'm really sorry to take your time. I'm really sorry. This might be a stupid question. I'm really sorry. I'm like, oh, shoot away. I'm open because I get paid extremely well to answer your question. And I don't ever want anybody to feel bad about asking a question or changing somebody's life or taking some of my precious time. Oh, please. I finally feel I'm being paid what I'm worth. And I am an open book. If I've figured it out, I don't want you guys to have to stumble through it. I don't want you guys to have to look through it and find it and dissect it and create it. I'm going to share everything that has worked for me. And right now, that's this. That's being present. That's creating culture. That's creating a community. That's serving. That's loving. That is really just what everybody probably needs to hear, kind of in the tough love way right now, this time of year. So I'm still sweaty. So that's been 45 minutes, as a matter of fact. So I'm not sure if Trisha is still on. I know she was having technical difficulties, but I think I would be available to answer any questions that you guys have. You obviously have to unmute yourself, but I'm here and I'm serving. I'm loving. And so shoot away, fire away. Is that okay, Trisha?
That is just perfect. And I'm sorry if my internet is actually a little bit sketchy right now. So go ahead, guys.
Any questions, you guys? Come on. I'm going to start reaching out here in a second. You know I will. I've done it before. If you don't ask me a question, I'm going to ask you a question.
I'm just loving everything you just shared, Sybil. Like, I'm loving the whole piece on the store being open. And if they're going to go somewhere, and if you open up too late, it's going to be too late. Like, I loved that analogy.
Don't let them go to Marie Osmond and that Slim Fast. Don't let them do it. They will if you're not open. Yeah, it's so true. And you'll start seeing Weight Watchers and Nutrisystem and Jenny Craig, tons and tons and tons and tons of marketing here pretty soon. Now that the elections are over, you'll start seeing that flood. Why don't you be the person that they see instead? So you got to be ready, guys. You got to have your store open. You got to have your culture built. You got to have your collaborations ready. You got to have other people that you're going to link arms with and go out and do great things. Create a place for more good stuff to happen. Any questions? Heather Greenhaw, I'm going to pick on you. Unmute yourself, baby. So Heather, you're not financially connected to me. And no. I do kind of call you, an orphan in all of this. Heather has been coming to Tribe Time like almost since its inception. What is it that you found? And don't say it just to toot my horn, but what did you find that you loved, like the first thing that you noticed and felt when you kind of wandered in?
It's just the community. I mean, I think everyone is looking for community and being welcomed as a team. I think everybody wants that no matter what you're doing. But in something like this, when so much of the responsibility is on you to succeed, you also need other people to do it with. And having that community to be able to bounce the ideas off each other, to encourage each other. I mean, that's just priceless to anyone.
Good. Well, and we absolutely love having you, and we've learned more from you than you've probably taken from us. So it's a marriage made in heaven, and I so appreciate and honor you. So thank you. Stacy Wiley, I'm going to pick on you because you were one that said, "Get away, crazy person. I'm happy in my job." What was it that made you really go all in?
First of all, I loved your craziness, but I loved my job so much that's the reason. What I will tell you is the culture, and yes, my leader, made me realize we had something that no one else had. And more than anything, not just for myself, but for my future husband, we learned to imagine. And in a short year, our lives have really changed. We've been doing it since last May, but really plugged in after our first celebration. And so that would be it. And I know our team is much different than some people's teams. So if you're on this call, really stay plugged in and realize the blessing that you have in these leaders, because we're just getting started.
That's right, baby. We're just getting started. And I think that, Stacy, I like to pick on her because before I think she even got her pack, she heard that Tony Robbins was speaking at Celebration. And she not only bought one ticket, she bought two, one for she and one for her fiance. So it was like, oh my gosh, I'm a part of this weight loss program that has Tony Robbins talking for $149. Who's not going? It didn't make any sense that we had to try to talk people into going to that celebration. But so it wasn't just me that convinced her of what we had to offer. It was they bought in. And events, change everything. And NYKO, you guys, if you've not bought your ticket yet, I don't know why you're even on this call with me. Get your ticket if you want to be motivated and really, really inspired, because it's quite nice. Hey, Trisha, I'll end with you. Oh, Stacy, you had one more question?
I just wanted to say one more thing too, is the generosity that the company pours back into all of us. We'd been with the company 1 month, and we made Zoom Boom. So our rooms were actually paid for the celebration in Las Vegas. We never could have attended without that gift from Isagenix as well.
So generous. Yeah.
And
that's so
it's
crazy.
just amazing. So
I love it. So Trisha, you've recently become part of our little tribe. So tell me what was, like I asked Heather, what was it that was really something maybe unique that you saw when you came for the first time?
Well, it's really good to be with like-minded people that have the same values as you and want the same thing. So one team is so important to us. And we see a lot of orphans that need help, that are struggling. I can echo everything you shared, Sybil. I mean, when people come in to Isagenix and they're not coached and they're only allowed to be a part of one group, and so that's all they see, they have this tunnel vision. If they have a negative experience, then every time they talk to somebody about Isagenix, they say negative things, right? And maybe one day you talk to one of their friends and they're not open to Isagenix because they had this negative experience. And so that's what I love so much about Tribe Time, is that we are working together to create a beautiful experience for everybody. Because like Sybil said, if Heather does better and she has more tools, and Stacy does better and has more tools, then when I come into contact with somebody they know, I'm either going to fuel that person and go, get your butt on the phone with Stacy because you need to talk to her. Or if they're just strangers that were in passing and they had a great experience, they're going to enroll with me because they had this seed planted, you know? And so that's why it's so important. I love Tribe Time. Guys, we are not supposed to walk this world alone. We struggle as individuals, as human beings, when we are alone and isolated. And when we can come together in groups, whether that's 2, 5, 10 people, 30 people, we are energized, we are fueled, we get permission to live bigger, to dream bigger, to be bolder. Like, that's what this is all about. So Sybil, I love so much what you're doing. I want you to close us out here, girl, but I will just say, I am so grateful that I was put in good groups and that I was introduced to so much, because, you know, my sponsor from the get-go wasn't like, she didn't live here. She was, you know, in Texas, like so far away, and we didn't talk a lot, and she was brand new in Isagenix. She was not a leader, right? And if I hadn't been a part of a group like what we're creating here, I wouldn't have known what was possible with Isagenix. You know, I was 95 pounds overweight, guys. I was on food stamps. I was suffering in so many areas of my life. People would not look at me and go, oh, she'll be a top income earner in our company. Like, they wouldn't have expected that from me. And so my message to you is just to echo what Sybil is saying. Believe in every single person that comes into your business. Juanice just joined us. She joined our call just now. She's only been using the products for 3.5 weeks. She has a long road ahead of her with her health goals, and she will be a business builder in my team because I believe in her. I know what she's capable of. And I hope you're listening to me right now, Juanice, because I believe in you. And this is the community you get to be a part of, that are going to believe in you and push you to be your very, very best.
That is so true. And it's so fun to see these new minds that are just like sponges, that are able to really not have to navigate through a lot of the stuff alone, and navigate through the stuff that we all had to navigate through already. I mean, we've got 3 and 4 years experience under our belts already. We may as well share that. So I guess I just want to end tonight by thanking you guys so much for your open hearts, for your open minds. And again, if you are, you know, not part of a team that, you know, has those same sort of attitudes, the only thing that you can do about it is really honor that your leader has chosen to do it the way that they are doing it for a very specific reason. And nobody's right and nobody's wrong. It's just that I really wanted to tell you tonight about the way that we do it and why. And so far, it's worked. And I'm just so thankful that I've had the mentoring that I've had, and I've had the leaders that I've had. I just do it a little bit differently than probably anybody else, and probably anybody, in the future will do it. We all have our own takes on things, and we all have our own philosophies and our own styles. But I just really wanted to try to educate everybody that there is always another way to do it, and there's your way to do it. And as soon as you get to that point that it's time for you to launch or start your own team page or your own prospecting page or whatever, try it so that it doesn't require a lot of exclusion. Try it and see if it works. It's worked for us now. Our page has been open for 1 year. January 1 will be 1 year, and we've got 23,000 people in that page. So, think about that. I mean, that's a ton as far as I'm concerned. I'm really impressed with the team. We made it our goal to have 10,000 people before we even launched the page, which we did. So we've added 12,000 more people in the last year. But it wouldn't be that way if we'd been really closed off, if we'd all had really strange scarcity mindsets and didn't come from a culture. We all know each other really well because we see each other so often too, because we have this landing space. So just think about it. Just think about all of these pieces and parts working together to create really what it is that we're all really, our mission is all about, which is, I think, to transform people in multiple ways, not just physically and financially, but really, really getting into so many different facets. And I think we're doing it. So thank you so much for joining tonight. This particular type of community, this interaction, Zoom, this sort of technology, Trisha leading the pack here is just another piece of it. So you guys are already on track to go out and do it your way too. So thank you again for joining tonight. Everybody go and have a great Thanksgiving next week. And again, just really, really embrace everybody that comes to your table and try to have them leave your table a better, changed person with more good stuff to share. Thanks so much for joining, you guys. You go and have a great night. Thank you again, Trisha.
So much.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining, you guys. Abby, I love you.
Thank you, Sybil, so much.
Thanks, Sybil.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Make
See
sure
you
you
later.
guys go on her page and thank her, share what you learned and what you're going to apply in your business. Thank you, Sybil. We love you.
Oh, that's an awesome
Thanks, Chris.
idea. Thank you so much, Trisha.